A very warm welcome to this meeting number 118 it is. So I think it's great that we are still going after more than 2 years. Uh, We don't have, I guess, a membership is a challenge, and that's what is the theme of today as well. Passing the mantle is the theme for today, and passing the mantle means that what we have every June in Toastmasters, when the mantle gets moved to a new person in terms of them taking on the ownership of leading the club and making it as good as possible. So I think we are in that stage now. And as we mentioned in the last week, we have started the process of getting the nominations for all the roles. And it's good that we have got number of nominations now, which is really great. So this is what it is all about. Each and every member taking the ownership and taking the club to the next level, whatever the next level it would be. So I think that's really great that this is happening now. With that, I would like to start the meeting, and we are going to do this pie, the pie that we savor every week, which is the prepared speeches, the impromptu speeches, and then the evaluation. And without further ado, I would like to invite our first speaker of this meeting, Christian, who's going to do a talk on cute leadership. It's the speech from Team Collaboration Level 3 Project 1. And the goal of the project is to talk about successful collaboration. So cute leadership, Christian Secon.
My son and I walked into the gym, and the gym is not only a place where we work out, it is an extremely special place to us. My son gets to socialize with his friends while mom gets to go work out for 1 hour. I'm able to get in a solid workout, and my son is able to get in some wonderful socialization. As we walked in, one of his little girlfriends was there. She put her hands on her knees and she let out this giant smile and yelled his name, Dio. She ran up to him and gave him a giant hug. My son was so excited to see his little girlfriend. And at that very moment in time, it reminded me that as a parent, I felt like I was winning, because certainly any other parent may be able to relate. There are certain times where you don't necessarily feel like you're winning as a parent. This made me think into a larger conversation I was having with a girlfriend of mine regarding how to be a successful leader. And I certainly know that I've learned some strategies as a successful leader from being a parent. This is what I refer to as cute leadership. For C, community and collaboration is so important. And particularly, I notice this with my son. We're in a phase right now where hitting is very interesting and fascinating. Understanding and learning boundaries is something we want to test 100 times a day. And with consistency, communication, and clear collaboration with my son, going back and forth with negotiations and keeping a steady, calm voice, we've been able to have clear success. In the workplace or in a professional fashion, we can see the same. Working with a team of individuals, I know I certainly have gained more success through communication, consistency, and clear collaboration than I have in other means. The U is for unity. As it confirmed to me at the gym, my son has thrived with social interaction. And I think about that for each one of us. Not only is social interaction so important for young children, it's important across the lifespan. When we're able to develop those connections with friends and family members, we have the sense of unity, which contributes to our overall well-being. T is for thinking. And this, in terms of thinking, is for positive thinking and creative thinking. My son recently turned 2, and we celebrated his birthday at the local museum. And at the museum, there's a section called the Discovery Lab. Doesn't that just sound cool? Even if you don't necessarily know what's in the Discovery Lab, you're going to question and say, well, what can I discover? And it's a fantastic question because you literally could spend an entire day and still not discover everything the library has to offer, or excuse me, what the museum has to offer. Events like discovery in general and diving deeper into the topic of discovery, such as going to the museum and learning about various exhibits or understanding how a thing works, the basic science of something, contributes to our creative minds and encourages us to think in a different fashion. It's too easy as a professional to get stuck in a rut. We've done something, we've had success with something, so we continue to do it the same way. And that's not always necessarily a bad thing. If you have success with something and your system is working, that's okay. However, there are certain times where it's prudent for us to think differently, to think more creatively, and to get out of our box. Particularly with children, I definitely know it is vital for children to learn through play. And part of learning through play, you instill and ignite creativity. As adults, we don't always get to learn through play. Maybe you can relate to that. I definitely know on a regular basis, I don't necessarily get to learn through play with my job, but I certainly know with my child, I do. So it's a healthy reminder to know that creativity can be instilled and can flourish regardless of your environment. And last, E is for energy. Certainly, if you're a parent or a grandparent or have ever been around children, you know that they give you ample energy in all sorts of ways, whether you are prepared for it or not. And that is beautiful. I believe if we embrace energy, we're able to propel ourselves forward and really bring a fresh perspective on whatever it is we may be looking at. Fellow Toastmasters, I'd encourage you to think about cute leadership as you move forward with your professional and personal endeavors. With children, whether you have them yourselves or not, we're able to learn so much from them. And if you take away one thing, remember the positive and creative energy that they're able to give us. So with cute leadership, it's community, unity, thinking, particularly positively and creatively, and energy. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Tristian. It was interesting to hear your perspective and the term that you have coined in terms of cute. Excellent. Now, I would like to go to the next part of the meeting, which would be the second speech. And the second speaker today is Kaushal Gupta. He's speaking. The topic is India Food Tour. The path is engaging humor level 2, project 1, know your sense of humor. India Food Tour, Kaushal Gupta.
Earlier this year, I and my parents went to India to visit relatives and celebrate my parents' 50th wedding anniversary. I'm not going to lie to you. I was born and raised in the US, so my food tastes are westernized. I'm a meat and potatoes guy. But it's good to take a tour through cuisine that is not what you eat every day. So I'm going to take you on a food tour of India. This first slide shows a sweet called Kaju Katli. It is made from cashews, I believe, and is topped with a very thin silver foil. It's actually made of silver and it is safe to eat. It's very good. My friend in the United States, who is not Indian, loves this sweet and asked me to buy a box of it for her from India and bring it to her in the United States. I did so. She lives in a different state from me, so I mailed the box of sweets to her by overnight express because I didn't want the sweets to be out of the refrigerator for too long. It costs a lot of money to send that box to her overnight. She could have bought these sweets from a local Indian store. We have those in America. She wanted me to bring them from India. Even though the quality would have been just as good if she got them in the States, I did this for her. Aren't I a great friend? In the city of Delhi, there are a lot of upscale restaurants you can go to. This is one of them, the Art of Dumpling, hence the letters on the side, TAOD, the Art of Dumpling. I went there with a cousin and a nephew. My parents told me, when you go there, make sure you pay the bill. Do not let your cousin pay the bill. Keep that in mind. Here is what I had at the Art of Dumpling. It's their specialty dish called rainbow dumplings. As you can see, it comes in a variety of colors, and the fillings are various too, such as chicken and fish. It was great. Now, about paying the bill. I was supposed to pay the whole bill, but my cousin, unfortunately, was much faster with her credit card than it was with mine. And she ended up paying for the whole thing. I said, no, let me pay for it. Let me at least pay half. My parents will kill me if they found out you pay for the whole thing. She said, well, I guess you'll have to just not tell your parents. And that has been our little secret. Here's a, pardon me, here's a homemade dish called chana bhatura. Chana bhatura is a very popular comfort food in India. My friend in the US, same person I told you about before, loves chana bhatura. She told me, you had better have some while you are in India or I'm gonna get mad. So I took this photo and sent it to her as proof. I did it. I finally had chana bhatura in India. We had a little party on the rooftop garden of my uncle's apartment. I had this beer called Carlsberg Premium Elephant. It's a lager that is Danish and is sold in India. It was pretty good. Just behind and to the left of it, it's hard to see in this photo, there is a bottle of Glenlivet Scotch. And my uncle, now I don't drink very much, but my uncle likes to party. So quite frequently, he would hold up a bottle of scotch and in his scotch in one hand, and in his other hand, he would make this gesture. And he was begging me, come on, drink a little bit more with me. Just drink a little more, a little. And every time he did that, I would drink a little more scotch. His wife, my aunt, who was equally fun-loving, After we were a few rounds of alcohol in, she brought out this deck of cards and she started dealing these cards to everyone. And I thought, oh, okay. Well, I wonder what game we're going to play. Well, here's the game we played. Each of us would one by one reveal our cards. And then she would say, "Oh, you got a pair. You got a pair. Oh, you got 4 hearts." So that was the game. She didn't actually know any card games. She just thought it would be cool just to see what kind of cards we got. And after a few rounds of this, I said, "No, no, no. I'm going to teach you an actual game." I took all the cards, I dealt them, and I taught them how to play blackjack. Then we had fun. It was finally time to celebrate my parents' 50th anniversary. We had a big party, so many guests, more people than we had chairs for them to sit on. We had food catered, and here's the catering table. We had a mix of mild and spicy food for the guests. I sat down with that fun-loving aunt I told you about earlier. I noticed she was eating the mild food. I said, "Why are you eating mild food? I thought you liked the spicy food." My uncle put an arm around her and said, "She is already very spicy." That gave me a great laugh. Here is the special cake that was made for my parents' 50th. It was a really good cake. And at the end of the party, this is what it looked like. We killed that cake. Like I said, it was really good. I feel so lucky that my parents were able to celebrate their 50th anniversary and they were able to do it in India. And I'm lucky I was able to be there with them when they did. My sister, unfortunately, couldn't come with us. So that was the only thing that was missing. But I hope you enjoyed this food tour of India. Mr. Toastmaster.
Huge round of applause to Kaushal. Interesting. It was a good idea to with those pictures. I think they say pictures are like more than 1,000 words, so you kind of conveyed quite a lot there. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences in India with us. Now we go to the next part of the meeting, which is the I part, which is the impromptu speeches. And today, Teresa Carolyn is our topics master. So over to you, Teresa, for a good set of topics. Huge round of applause to Teresa.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Somesh. Today, our theme is all about passing the mantle. And my questions will be about passing the mantle. And to begin our Toastmaster table topics, I want to pick on Somesh. Somesh, what do you believe makes a Toastmaster club successful? And I'd like you to listen for Somesh's answers because we're going to discuss his answer. So Somesh, what makes a Toastmaster club successful? Please persevere with us as we go into table topics.
Thank you very much, Madam Table Topics Master. What makes a Toastmaster Club successful? It is the quality of the meetings. I think that's the most important thing. Of course, who brings in the quality? It is the individual members who bring in the quality, because each and every one of us is unique. In every Toastmasters Club, if we go and see, every member is unique and every member have their own unique story that no one else in the world has. And that's what Toastmasters brings in terms of what we can learn. For a club to become successful, one of the most important thing would be the leadership, I think. What vision the leader has. Because it is the leader who generates that passion within the organization and helps people to get motivated and go in the direction of using their talents. Because everyone, as I said before, everyone is unique, not only in terms of their experiences, but also in terms of what they can offer to the club. The talent, if we can understand what talent a person has and what way they want to use their talent in terms of making the club as good as possible, that is what a leader should be doing, to try and understand where the growth aspect is for an individual, which direction an individual wants to go, and help them to go in that direction. So if I want to conclude in terms of the success of a Toastmasters Club, I would say three main points. The first point is, as I said, the members. The second point is the leadership in the club. And the third point is the collaboration that happens between each and every member, so that everyone together brings the club to the next level. Thank you very much. Over to you, Madam Topics Master.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Somesh, for your very comprehensive and excellent question and giving us food for thought about what makes a successful club. His second point, Tristan, was that a leader has to have a vision and what they are going to do with that vision to help the members in their club develop their skills. As incoming VP of Education, can you tell us a little bit about your vision for the club?
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master. Certainly, I feel as potential VP of Education for our club, or truly any officer role, part of the vision is maintaining transparent communication. I am an absolute stickler about communication. And of course, Toastmasters is all about communication. And certainly in life, different things come up for folks, and that is life. Totally okay, as long as we just communicate and we say whether we are available or not. That certainly can contribute and enhance our overall vision, which of course in my mind is supporting, promoting, and enhancing the Toastmasters mission statement of supporting each other in a non-judgmental environment so we all can develop the leadership and confidence to move forward with our public speaking skills, be it professionally, personally, and hopefully both. Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you very much, incoming VP of Education, Tristan, and I look forward to your leadership. My next question goes to Kaushal. Kaushal, Somesh's third point was collaboration. How important do you feel collaboration is? And give us, perhaps you could move on or expand on that idea for a successful Toastmaster Club. Please welcome Kaushal.
Madam Topic Master and fellow Toastmasters, to demonstrate the importance of collaboration, I will actually give you a negative story, a story about failed collaboration. This happened at work. As part of a project, I was teamed up with one other person to manage a project. This person was much more experienced than me, but he had very poor interpersonal skills. He felt that only he had the knowledge and experience to do it. He didn't really have the patience to work with others, and he was very bad at really communication. So he just wanted to do it on his own. So as a result, he and I, even though we should have collaborated, we should have worked together, we actually ended up doing our parts separately. And at the end of the project, I was told by more than one person that the project would have been more successful had it just been me working on my own without him, the more experienced person. So that is a lesson I've carried forward in that you really have to work with people of various temperaments, experiences, and abilities. Because as in Toastmasters, the point of a project is not just to get something done, but to also grow and learn from the experience. So collaboration takes effort, and it does put you out of your comfort zone at times, but you have to make the effort if you really want the project to succeed. Madam Topic Master.
Thank you very much, Kaushal, for your negative example, because yes, we all need to go with the flow, but also you gave an opportunity to that person, perhaps to move up a little in his own development. So just, I mean, if we look at it in that sense, could have been a negative situation for your club, but a positive situation for this person, because I'm sure he got some nugget out of working. And congratulations on persevering with him. I believe we have time for another. Is that correct? One more. We'll go with Kathy. Kathy, tell us about how the quality of a meeting, which was Somesh's first point, how the quality of a meeting makes a successful club. Please welcome Kathy.
The quality of a meeting is integral. What, those of us that are here are all current Toastmasters. But as we seek out to bring new members, we're advanced, but we're not necessarily advanced. Most of us are advanced Toastmasters. But whenever you bring anybody in as a guest, what they get out of that meeting is what we all individually put into that meeting also. If you invite somebody to a Toastmasters meeting and it's their very first Toastmaster meeting, and if we don't have a good meeting, we don't leave them with a good experience. But even those of us that are experienced Toastmasters, do we want to go to a meeting if it's not engaging and fun and we don't enjoy the people that are in the club? I think I've shared with you all that I was in a fourth club at one time, but one of the things that particular club culture is that a lot of their speakers talked about politics. This is something that I don't like. I mean, it became almost every speech. I don't mind an occasional one, but it became uncomfortable where I like the people in the club, but I don't want to sit through conspiracy theory speeches and things like that. So to me, that became kind of like Kaushal was talking about. It became an uncomfortable situation where I like the people. I don't like the food at the restaurant either. But that pushed me away from that club, even though they're great people, because that made me feel uncomfortable on a regular basis because there weren't enough variety of speeches. But when we have a new person come in, we need to show them example of what Toastmasters can benefit them. But we that are experienced Toastmasters, we want to enjoy and have fun and collaborate with each other and have a great meeting. So it is very important. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kathy. And thank you very much, Toastmasters, for persevering with this meeting. As Kathy mentioned, we are all advanced Toastmasters, and we can go with the flow and we can run through whatever it takes. Somesh's 3 points were the quality of the meeting, the And the vision, and Tristiane gave us her vision of what she feels our club can move forward on. And Kaushal talked about collaboration and how important it is that we learn how to collaborate, not just with the people that know what to do, but people who perhaps need a little bit more assistance. And so what I want to say is that we have the power, even this small group, to run a successful Toastmaster meeting. Kathy had said to come and have fun and learn something. I think that we are all learning something by being here and persevering through this meeting and not saying, oh, we don't have enough people, let's cancel. I've been in that story many times. So back to you, Mr. Toastmaster, and thank you again.
Thank you very much, Teresa, for a nice round of topics. We still have around 7 minutes, I would say, in terms of having more topics. So I just wanted to talk about an interesting point that you mentioned, Teresa, in terms of the numbers. It's quite an interesting concept that I've learned about in terms of how there is thoughts, there is actions, and then there is reality, right? So the current reality in our case is that we are not having too many members. If the current reality, so there is a concept called catch-22 situation. How many of you have heard about catch-22 situation? Yeah, so catch-22 means a classic example of catch-22 is a person who has just graduated, a student has graduated from the university, and they want to get a job. But generally, in many of the organizations, if you want to get a job, you should first have experience. Otherwise, you cannot get a job. So this is a catch-22 situation. The person wants a job, but he can get the job only if he has experience. But he doesn't have experience because he's just beginning. And this catch-22 situation happens at many places. Like, for example, this is like we are having low numbers. So if we just think about the negativity of the situation, what is going to happen is it will create more negative results. So then how do we come out of it? We create positive thoughts. And we, on the basis of those positive thoughts, we do positive actions. And then we'll get a different kind of reality. So it's quite an interesting concept. And I think Napoleon Hill talks about this quite a lot in Think and Grow Rich. He talks about the burning desire. So if we have a burning desire to achieve something, we kind of go in that direction despite all the difficulties. We persevere. And I think that's a great quality: perseverance, determination, and patience. I think these three are extremely important qualities. And there is no end to developing these qualities. I think we can keep developing them until the last breath that we take. So yeah, sorry. So I just thought that it will take a little bit of time and try and understand, because it just provoked some kind of thoughts in me, Teresa, when you talked about the low numbers. Right. So now we go to the last part of the session, which is the evaluation part. And for that, I would like to welcome Kathy Draper to evaluate Tristian's account speech. Over to you, Kathy. Thank you very much.
Let me find my evaluation form. Hold on just a second. Awesome. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters, and most especially Tristian. I always find it challenging because you are such a great speaker. So if anything, when I do constructive things to work on, it's so minor because you're just such a naturally good speaker. I loved your beautiful photo bomber that you had at the beginning of your speech. I thought, when you're talking about cute leadership, and you have a cute kitty cat walking across the desk. I love the fact that you brought us in right from the start, going to the gym and your little son's girlfriend. I love the little story to start it off with. I love the great examples that you had for the cute leadership, and I love the way you summarized it at the end of it. You did such a great job, and you really developed this well. You always do such a great job. The little thing that, I mean, like I said, these are really small things. You might want to add a little bit more vocal variety. One of the opportunities of that is like when you get to the gym and your son is meeting his little girlfriend, you could change up the energy a little bit, like the energy, because you did talk about energy later in your speech. Change up that energy a little bit when they're in there, just a little bit more vocal variety on that. You did, with your CUTE method, you did a great job of summarizing about the CUTE method. You gave us, you went into details about everyone and gave great examples on there. And then you summarized it in the end, which is great. But I'd like to see maybe a little bit more of a closed loop at the end of the speech, because you brought us to the gym and we're talking about all the benefits in your son, but you went into the CUTE method, but you never kind of closed that loop, if you understand what I mean. You started talking about that. If we could maybe come back to that part to close that part of the speech. Again, I really, really love this speech. I love you. You always do such a great job on all of your speeches. I look forward to the next one because I always learn so much from you every time. And great job. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kathy, for a great evaluation. And as an advanced club, I think it's really good that you have provided some suggestions for taking the speech to the next level as well, which is quite important. That it's always good to get these feedback, I think, so that we can keep thinking about this and improve it in our next speech. So thank you, Kathy, for that. Now I'd like to get to the second evaluator, which is Teresa for Kaushal's speech. Over to you, Teresa.
Thank you very much, Mr. GE. Fellow Toastmasters, and especially Kaushal, the big reveal. You went to India for your parents' 50th anniversary. How wonderful is that? If you had told us before, I didn't know, but I thought, wow, what a way to give us that Indian food tour through the event of your parents' 50th anniversary. What I thought you did very well was the slideshow. I was like over the top looking at those sweets. I knew they were sweets. I've had them before. And I thought, wow. And all through, you gave us that interest, making us interested in, wow, what was going to happen next? Where else were you going to go? And the third thing, the purpose was to add some anecdotes that could help you with your humor. And I think you did an amazing job at adding those anecdotes, especially the one with your uncle and the scotch, and how you led us to find, you see that little bottle back there, how you developed that. That was wonderful, giving us that. Going with your aunt and the cards. And I got the word, the big reveal from there, because she was like, wow, she wanted to play cards. She wanted to have fun with you guys. And then you actually taught them a card game and you played blackjack. So another anecdote that really did that for us. I thought the art of going to that restaurant, the art of dumpling. And I thought, wow, this is going to be great. And then, of course, that slide with all the dumplings. I'm going to India just for those dumplings, let me tell you. Okay, so what I think you could have done better. Number one, a better title. It was great. Your title was good, but you could have did something like the big reveal, or something that gave us some thought to what's going to happen. What's he going to talk about today? And I think that would have been better. The second thing, as I mentioned before, your glasses I couldn't really see your eyes, so I couldn't see if you were speaking to us. So that's just a minor point that I think that depending, because we are online, making sure that it happens that we can see you. I know you were talking to us because you were telling us about your tour. So thank you very much. And I really believe that this is a great speech and you could travel around with it, especially giving India a big, people want to go there. So just keep going with it because I think that's how good I think it is. So thank you very much, Kaushal.
Thank you very much, Teresa, for a great evaluation again. And it's good you have some nice suggestions as well for Kaushal to try out. And it's what I kind of appreciate is that you actually gave an example as well when you said that it could be better. You actually gave the example of big reveal. So that is really good. I think if evaluators can be as specific as they can, I think that really helps the speakers. Generally, they talk about the SMART goals in the contemporary corporate world: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. That is called SMART. So when it is specific, it really helps the person to actually concentrate on what specific one thing that they can improve and get to the next level. So thank you so much for that. Now we don't have, we have few roles that we don't have. And I think we just on the off the cuff, we just used to, Kathy asked about the word of the day and I just thought persevere might be quite good. So, and I guess Teresa, you have brought in perseverance and persevere words many times, I would say, at least 5, I would say. So congratulations, you are the winner there for using the word of the meeting. And then in terms of the language, I think everyone is excellent. We are an advanced club and we show it every time that we are excellent in terms of how we speak. I don't think we had too many of the crutch words as well, I would say. Quite minimum, I think. So congratulations everyone on that. What else? Timer, please, Kaushal, if you can please help us with the time. Thank you very much.
Yes. For Tristan's speech, Tristan spoke for 6 minutes, 40 seconds. My speech was 7 minutes, 30 seconds. And thank you to Teresa for timing that for me. For the table topics, Samish, I apologize. I forgot to go back into timer mode after I gave my speech, so I forgot to time your table topic, but it did feel like you were within the 1 to 2 minute time frame. Christian, your table topic was 1 minute, 13 seconds. My table topic was 2 minutes. Kathy's table topic was 2 minutes, 12 seconds. For the evaluation speeches, Kathy spoke for 2 minutes, 2 seconds. Teresa for 3 minutes, 26 seconds. Back to you, Somesh.
Thank you very much, Kaushal. Excellent report again. And it's interesting when we do multitasking. I think this is what the challenge of multitasking is. And that's the reason I think we have all these separate roles in Toastmasters so that people don't do multitasking and everyone gets to just focus on one particular role and do it to the best. Thank you so much, Kaushal, for taking on the role of speaker and timer as well, which is quite difficult. Okay, now we come to we have done the 3 parts. We have done our prepared speeches. We have done our impromptu speaking. We have done our evaluation pie. So I hope the pie was tasty today. It was probably with all those pictures coming from Kaushal's presentation. I think it was tasty as well. Yes. So we have around 14 minutes left, and I was actually thinking possibly we can have some kind of discussion in terms of some ideas around what can we do to promote the club more and try and have. What I've seen is that there is a contact a club part in the Toastmasters International, and lots of people are contacting from that. And the email comes to our inbox. And we kind of reply to that as well. Somehow those people are not coming to the meeting, and I'm not sure what's the reason for that. So that is one part of this. Others, maybe if you have any thoughts, we can probably go around the table and maybe have some kind of brainstorming session for around 10 minutes, what the thoughts are and what we can do. Is that fine? Is it? Okay, Christian, yeah.
For the folks who are reaching out to our email via Toastmasters International, how quickly are we responding to them? First question. And secondly, are we giving them a reminder email prior to the meeting?
Yeah, good points, Christian. Yes, response is done within 1 day. That is fine. I think that's not a problem. But yes, I think the reminder part is probably missing. So I think that's probably something that we can focus on. Some of them, I think it is interesting. The people, I've seen this many times in many clubs.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who take quick decisions.
Yeah.
You know, so if someone wants to join, they will join. You know, there is no question that they won't join. And if
Yeah.
someone doesn't want to join, they can, you can, as they say, you can bring the horse to the water, but you cannot make it drink. So I think that is really there. I think across the board, I think it is there. So it depends on the personality. I think like what their expectations are and how quickly they make decisions. And those things come into picture. Yes. Teresa.
Okay, so to respond to Tristian's question, who is, I should check on to see who's getting those emails if there are interest, because it should be on the TI website. Are you getting those emails, Somesh?
Yeah, we got a Gmail inbox. So yeah.
And
Yeah,
you're
so
getting,
yeah. Personal
so
growth leaders ti@gmail.com. Yeah.
okay, so the other thing is, Christian, we have that online meeting. I don't know if you saw that. And I had two people this week who reached out because I knew we were, needed more people. And the first person didn't get back to me, but the second person got back to me. And as soon as they did, I responded. Because I sent out the link and I sent out the agenda as we had it. And so, but as I said to Somesh, not sure. And same thing, not sure why, whether it was the time idea that he didn't get, but I had said, see, because when he responded to me, it was today, like it was this morning. And I said, in my time, that I'd see him very soon. And the thing is, it's because of the time zones, right? That's the difficult thing. And I hate to time, like my 2:00 in the afternoon is like 2 a.m. for Fatty Math or something, you know what I mean? For Malaysia. And so I think that's another thing that, is the problem, but I'm not sure, but that's just my opinion on trying to get back or trying to get more people to come. I had put it on earlier in the week. As I said, I put it out to the interested as well. It is a busy weekend for a lot
of district conferences.
Yeah. So that's the time of year it is, but regardless, not everybody is going to conference.
I did follow up with Sanjeev and he said he will be back next week. I know he's had a lot going on with going to India and being ill and stuff, but he said he would be back next week.
Yes, he's taking a speaker spot and he's also ready to take roles next week. So that's good.
Yeah, Christian.
Somesh, I think you bring up a really valid point. When someone is ready to join or they're ready to do something, they've made a decision to do it and they will do it. And I just think about others who may be on the fence, like they have enough interest. Sorry, my parrot is right next to me. So if you hear funny noises, that's why. Yes, I'll show you her. And so thinking of that, if somebody has somebody has enough interest to reach out, I would like to think that we can engage them further. And of course, that takes time and effort, and I completely respect that. But I just wonder if we facilitate a conversation with them first to see what initially interests them in Toastmasters and find a connection for our club to them and how it can be personally beneficial to them. I don't know if that, when it comes to the threshold, if that could push them over the threshold. Ultimately, I think Samesh is right, but just thinking of different ways we can engage potential members in our unique situation. And I think regardless, going off of Teresa's point too, across time zones, again, if somebody wants to do it, they'll find a way, right? And I think we could really market our club for sure in various time zones. I know for me, I begin at 5 a.m., but it is so perfect because I don't have my son with me. He's sleeping, so I actually have time where I can focus.
Oh.
Or a late club could be really beneficial.
Yeah, personal
AM,
situations.
right? Oh, you're
Mm.
Pacific then.
Yes.
Okay.
It's quite interesting how the personal situations are unique for everyone, and I think it's quite interesting that way. Oh, it's good,
Mm.
nice. We should actually take a picture with your bird. I think. Shall we take a picture?
I want to see a bird and a cat together.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, yeah, this is Gray. So she's 21 years old and she's a rescue. Her former human companion actually has terminal cancer. So that's why we have her. Yeah. So I'll have to do
He
a
only
speak.
shows every once in a while.
I know I could take my back. I just have my sewing stuff here. So my background doesn't really look the nicest. Otherwise, I would.
I've taken one, and I can take one more now. Just send it now. Take one more. Oh, sorry, just a moment. This. No, I think if you, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's good.
Perfect.
3, 2, 1. Nice. That's good. So I'm just sending it now as well. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Yeah, Teresa, you want to say something there?
I would like to go over the agenda, but if there's more discussion for this,
If Kaushal, yourself or Kathy, if you have something to add in terms of how we can get more members, that'll be really great. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I do have a couple of suggestions. I was thinking, how did I find out about this club in the first place? And it was through Alexandra Crump that many of you remember. She had been one of the early members to join, and she told her other clubs about it. And so one thing that we can do, I think this was already mentioned before, that we can, tell the members of our other clubs that if you want more Toastmasters involvement, this is a perfect place to do it. I also like the suggestion Kathy put in chat about setting up a free Toast website. And on top of that, I would also raise the suggestion that we could advertise on Reddit. Reddit has a Toastmasters thread, and that's actually how I found out about another club in which I participated in for a while. So, a lot of people read Reddit. So if we have a Toastmasters website through Free Toast Host, we could put a post on Reddit, talking about our club when we meet, the fact that we meet people from all over the world meet, and we're an advanced club. So if you're interested, here's our Free Toast Host website, and use that website to contact us. I wouldn't recommend putting the Zoom link on Reddit because you don't know what kind of people that will draw in. But you can say, well, here's our free Toast website. Use the contact us button to send us an email, tell us why you're interested in our club, tell us how much Toastmasters experience you have, and we'll send you an invite to our next meeting. So those are a few ideas.
Great, Kaushal. Thank you. Kathy.
One of the things I've been doing is, and I don't know how effective it is, but I get people that ask me a lot of questions. And sometimes I don't promote this club enough because it's awkward because I'm, president of my own club right now and everything. So promoting another club, but I get people asking me questions like this year with contest, I literally spoke all over the world. But the reason I was able to do that was because of this club. Because when we're talking about meeting people from all over the world, I literally have met people from all over the world. I mean, last year when I went to Nashville, I got to meet Liz, who's spent half of her time in England and half of her time in Australia, But I'll give you an example. I spoke in South Africa, was it last month? And that was because Sabaria contacted me with somebody from the South African club, and that's how I got the opportunity. And I didn't even get to meet the ladies Sabaria connected me to because they'd been having like a tsunami and she had no electricity to get on Zoom. But I share about our club a lot because I get people going, how are you meeting people and speaking at clubs all over the world? It's not necessarily because I posted something on the Toastmasters main Facebook page. It's because I know you guys and I start talking and you guys connect me with other people. And that's how I've gotten to, and I mean, I connect with Teresa and Fatima like literally almost every day because I created a speakers mastermind, which any of you are invited to join us. But I connect with them almost every single day, not just at our meeting, but we connect people through who we've met here and connecting throughout. So you get this thread of meeting people from all over the world. I do miss out on going to my farmer's market because it meets on Saturday morning. And if I don't get there by a certain time, I'm never going to find a parking space. But I can get my fresh vegetables over at the grocery store instead. But the thing is sharing it with people and the benefits you're getting from this club. And I get people that are jealous that I'm talking to people all over the world, but that's because every Saturday morning I'm talking to people from all over the world. But sharing the benefits is how we also get people to join us. Oh,
100%. Yes, agree. Yeah. Thank you.
Does anyone want to do a podcast? I thought Kathy's idea of someone asking questions and the person in the group answering the questions, or it could be like several people on the call. And then we could maybe post it on Facebook or post it on, if anybody has a YouTube channel, I'm not there yet. But I just wondered because I thought that was really great when Kathy said people are asking me questions. Yes.
Testimonials. We can each actually do our own testimonials. And then, because we have a Facebook page, we have a Facebook group, we're not really using those, but we can use those. We just have WhatsApp. I mean, although it has its benefits, it's not really great for bringing people in. It's more for once we get the contacts, we can use them. But using our Facebook page, you have the benefits. But the other thing people have to understand about social media, like my Wichita club, I have a really hard time with this, but it's like you can't just post it on your Facebook page. Each member has to post it on their page too, because you don't get traction, because you're only the people that like the Facebook page already are going to see it, but unless you post it on your page, nobody else sees it. But that opens it up to a bigger, broader audience. Like, for example, I don't think we have a LinkedIn page, but when you're doing something on LinkedIn, did you know that in order for LinkedIn to continue to take traction, people need to respond and use at least 7 words on their response so it continue to get traction? So things like that can help get a broader audience so people can see. But you can't just post it in your Facebook page. You got to post it on, like, I need to post it if you post it on personal growth page, I need to put it on my page too, so that all my people see it there. So you can get more eyes on that to get it out there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very valid points. I think the main thing is to start this and then be consistent in terms of doing it. And unfortunately, we're kind of missing that. I think both of those things. Yeah. So very well. Yeah.
Our incoming,
it's all food for thought for the new committee as well. Sorry.
yes, our incoming VP of PR, Kathy, is going to do a great job for us. That is
Good.
Great ideas.
She's
Yeah,
gonna try.
100%.
She's gonna be a very busy girl next year.
Okay.
Sorry, I'll just